should be capable of it. But that doesn't mean you should use it. There's nothing to you otherwise. Like if you're not a formidable force, there's no morality in your self-control. If you're incapable of violence, not being violent isn't a virtue. People who teach martial arts know this full well, right? If you learn a martial art, you learn to be dangerous, but simultaneously you learn to control it. Both of those come together. And the combination of that capacity for danger and the capacity for control is what brings about the virtue. Otherwise, you confuse weakness with moral virtue. I'm harmless, therefore I'm good. It's like, no, that isn't how it works. That isn't how it works at all. If you're harmless, you're just weak. And if you're weak, you're not going to be good. You can't be, because it takes strength to be good. It's very difficult to be good.
Is dangerous but controlled. But we're going to start out with the video first this time, and then we're going to discuss based on what we heard. Let's hear from Jordan Peterson, right? And let him tell us what is a real man. And a real man is a dangerous man, and why. Let's get to it.
Saying men should be dangerous. By dangerous, that implies I should be ready to threaten someone, to hurt somebody.
No, you should be capable of it. But that doesn't mean you should use it. There's nothing to you otherwise. Like if you're not a formidable force, there's no morality in your self-control. If you're incapable of violence, not being violent isn't a virtue. People who teach martial arts know this full well, right? If you learn a martial art, you learn to be dangerous, but simultaneously you learn to control it. Both of those come together. And the combination of that capacity for danger and the capacity for control is what brings about the virtue. Otherwise, you confuse weakness with moral virtue. I'm harmless, therefore I'm good. It's like, no, that isn't how it works. That isn't how it works at all. If you're harmless, you're just weak. And if you're weak, you're not going to be good. You can't be, because it takes strength to be good. It's very difficult to be good.
Saying men should.
Wow. Wow. That was powerful right there. It takes strength to be good, and if you're weak, you're most likely going to be bad. If you're harmless, you're going to be weak, and if you're weak, you're going to most likely become bad. That is powerful. A real man is a dangerous man. A real man is a dangerous man that can control himself. That can not be, and, you know, I learned this firsthand from karate, right? My dad put me in karate when I was like 7, 8 years old, right? I remember I would go in there and we would have these sparring matches, and I would always lose control and hit somebody. Hit them. The kid, other kids, imagine parents watching their kids come up against me, and I'm knocking their kid around. Full speed ahead. It took my sensei and this stick that he used to use to get me in line to teach me how to control my punches. Okay. I learned control very quickly because, first of all, other kids' parents didn't like me beating up their kids. Okay. They didn't like that. Right. And then, you know, I can imagine my dad coming to pick me up and parents looking at him like, what's wrong with your son? You know, what's wrong with your boy? But I just didn't, you know, I'm a kid. I didn't have any control. You told me throw a punch, you top out, throw a kick. Everything was full speed to me. And that's how it is when you play fight with a woman, right? She doesn't know how to control her punches. She hits a man thinking, oh, he's a man. He can handle it. But one of the first things men learn, or men should learn, is how to control their emotions. We're not telling men to suppress their emotion. I remember we did a show on mental health, and, you know, they say they don't want men to suppress their emotions. They want men to emote. No, you don't. You don't want men out here. You don't want men out here emoting. But what you do want is you do want dangerous men who know how to control their emotions and control themselves. That's what you want. A man, see, I remember this. Somebody asked, what makes God God? You know what makes God God? That he's all powerful, all knowing, and he keeps his word. And he doesn't go against his own commandments. If he says this is how it is, even he subjects himself to that, even though he doesn't have to. See, God wouldn't be God if he just destroyed the universe, right? What if he created things and just wiped out everything and destroyed everything? That would mean this how he can't control himself. He can't control his jealousy. He can't control his anger. He can't control his emotions. How is he God? He's all powerful and he just wipes out all existence. No, what makes him God is he has wisdom, is he has temperance. That's what makes him God. He's all powerful, but even being all powerful, he's not a tyrant. He's patient. He's long suffering. Even though the wickedness, and he can just come in and stamp out all the wickedness, he has the intelligence and the wisdom to know that these are just growing pains. My children are just developing and they're learning and they're going through different stages. They went through the hunting and gathering stages. Now today they're in the technology era. He understands that and he allows it. So what say you, Walt? What makes a man a man? Based on the video we just watched, Jordan Peterson laying it out.
Well, I spoke last. I think it was Mama Sarah's turn, but let me know.
Oh yeah, we just going. She could speak, but you could speak. I mean, I might be bouncing around out of turn, but she could speak last.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just didn't want to be rude.
Yeah. No, you're not rude at all. No, what makes a man a man is it just all depends on who you're talking to, honestly. You know, me personally, what makes a man? Respect, loyalty, hardworking, and loves his family.
Okay. Are those your non-negotiables? Because I did some non-negotiables. Let me tell you, I got some non-negotiables from women here.
Those are my non-negotiables. Okay.
Say it again. Say it again. What makes a man a man?
Honesty.
Okay.
Loyalty, respect, okay. Hardworking, and loves his family.
How many of that? That's 6?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me give you a 6. I went out and actually canvassed and I asked some women, what are their non-negotiables? Right? Manners was the top one. Manners, purpose, hygiene, a family man, affectionate, and you know what they put in there? An animal lover.
Oh.
Okay, I guess.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can understand that one. I can understand that one just simply because I had this conversation with a friend of mine the other day. If you are an animal lover and the person that you are interested in is not, it can make relationships kind of hard.
Yeah. Yeah. So obviously these women were animal lovers. That's why they put that on there.
Yeah. And I get, so I totally get that and respect that. A purpose. Okay. Purpose can also make sense because, you know, if you don't have somebody who has ambition or a drive or a purpose, meaning they know what they want in life, they know what they want to achieve in life. Yes, granted, things don't always happen the way we want them to, but yes, a purpose makes sense. Hygiene, that's a whole nother subject. Because again, that goes back to how You know, that goes back to how you're being raised. Hygiene should be taught at home. But if you are,
let's be real, man. I've been
not
to
taught
college.
that,
A lot of these brothers and sisters, men and women out there in the world, I don't want to call out no lighter shades of brown, my tan brothers, you know, my white tea brothers. A lot of y'all did not learn how to wash that self.
yeah, it happens in all races. It happens
You
in
know,
all cultures.
you know that big old soap. You remember that big old soap versus washcloth dilemma? Are you washing yourself with a washcloth, or are you using soap only to clean your body?
Right.
And then sharing that soap. You walk in there and the soap got all. You remember how you get the bar of soap and it looked like they got sand on it, and you got to pick the pubic hairs out of the soap before you use it. Your under armpit, and then you just share. You know, here you go, brother or sister. Here's the soap. You can use this to clean your body.
But yeah, you know, right. But okay. I mean, it goes. Hygiene goes both ways, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, and family. Okay, family is not always about who you're genetically related to either. Family can be the people that are your people.
Facts. So,
I mean, family is family. It doesn't. To me, it's not about DNA.
That's correct. I got to give Walt the tough question, man. Got to give you the tough question. So,
the same question?
Different question. Well, it's kind of similar. Is what Jordan Peterson's portrayal of a man, is that a healthy portrayal of manhood?
Well, yeah, because a man has to know how to operate in reality. Your feelings and your emotions aren't reality. And the truth is, right now, reality can be hard. And you have to know how to be harder yourself to break through the hardness of reality. That's what it is to be a man. Because if you can't break through the hardness of reality, then you're going to be defeated as a man. And that's why you have a lot of men that don't know how to deal with their wife, don't know how to not fear divorce because they don't know how to deal with those hard things. That's why you have more men nowadays deleting themselves because they're not being trained, and it's orchestrated like that. Because you have people like that guy who claimed that he was a therapist or whatever, saying that we need to validate men's feelings and men need to harbor their feelings and blah blah blah. But remember, we talked about it on the last show that if a baby falls and you know the baby's okay, and you just ignore the baby or just sit there, don't say anything, the baby will just pop right back up, break through it, and do what the baby needs to do, right? But if the baby falls and you know the baby's okay, and then you cater to that baby, the baby's going to whine, the baby's going to do whatever you is going to play off of you and not get better, and then start developing habits to whine and cry every time the baby falls down. So a lot of things that have been proven in nature, proven in society, is debunking what a lot of these soft therapists are saying. And we have to look at the proof of life, and that's the problem. A lot, and that's the reason why I had a hard time going back and finishing my degree. I might get my degree in Christian counseling, but I oh, that's my truck making that noise. But I had a difficult time getting my degree because when I looked at the curriculum and the way that they're doing progressive psychology and progressive coaching and progressive therapy, it's corrupt now. And going to your previous question, I don't like when women make lists like that, and I'll tell you why. Because I had a client, well, a couple clients. I asked them. I said, okay, what is your ideal man? What kind of man do you think would be ideal for you and your kids and blah, 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 or you and your future? And they gave me a list, just like what you said. And a lot of that list is just being a good adult. Some of that list is weird and superficial because why do you necessarily need to be a pet lover? Why? Because so many single women have pets and they want you to bow down to that pet, like how they want you to bow down to how they want to step down to bow down to kids. But anyway, let me get off of that. My client gave me this list of things, and she had like 2 kids, and I said, then why aren't your baby daddies like that? Why aren't the men that you slept with that had a kid by right now? None of them have those qualities on your list, and she didn't have anything to say.
I think
So I just had to answer both questions.
Me personally, my opinion, and it's simply that their baby daddies are not like that because they got those frames of mind from experience. They seen that their baby father not have those qualities, and that's what made them decide that's what they wanted.
Oh yeah, I get that. It's like a trend, but for some of the clients that I had, I was like, you're under 30. You're under 30. You're already on your second kid, and some of them was even on their third kid.
Right.
Why? Why is this?
I know personally, I'm a rarity. Okay. Yes, I was a teen pregnancy, but out of 5 children, but all 5 children are from the same man who I chose to marry. No, our marriage did not last, but that didn't change the fact that all 5 children came from the same man.
Right, because you had a culture about you. I have to deal with women I know one that's 28 years old, has 3 kids by 3 different baby daddies at 28. I'm like, come on.
Well, okay, so personal. My mother was an older mother. I was her first child, but my mother chose to have 3 children by 3 different fathers. And so for me personally, I did not want to be like her.
Right.
So I made sure that I took steps to not be like her.
As you should.
And that's how it should be. Like, well, once you see an example that you don't like, or you know that would be detrimental for kids, you change up. And that's what I try to teach more people to do. Not do the same, not repeat the same thing from the people in our past over and over and over. Be new, be different.
You have to break the cycle. Because if you don't, then
right.
That's facts.
If you don't break, and that goes with a lot of different things. If you don't break the then it continues. That's
the thing.
Thank you.
That's why we're supposed to learn from our mistakes. We're supposed to learn from the things that we do wrong. If we don't learn, we cycle. If we don't learn, then it's not a mistake.
And that's why I feel like, once you become an adult, there's really no excuse why you can't find the answers or figure out societal what's right and what's wrong.
Because we don't want to look at them.
Okay.
We don't want to look at them, or we don't want to accept the reality of the truth.
That's right. Like I said, at some point, you are responsible for your own actions, whether your parents raised you wrong or not. Now, don't get me wrong, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to change your upbringing, because you have to change your upbringing along with changing your programming
And your
right?
life.
And of course your lifestyle. You know, that's like telling a person, and now he wants to be clean. You know, hey man, you gotta. You're going to be able to do it just like that. No, it's going to take. It's going to take by. Yeah, it's going to take some work. It's going to take some new habits forming over old habits.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's and just not just soaking in your feelings. And right. That goes full circle. That goes full circle back to the topic that you're talking about right now. What it means to be a man. A man who can control himself is dangerous. A man who can learn these things is dangerous. And that's why the entities do not want men growing up to be a man. To be a man. Just like if you buy a house and the homeowners association says, "Oh, you can't grow crops in your backyard because we just don't want you to do that." Now you have to buy from the store. You have no choice but to buy from the store, and you have to eat their poison. Same thing. That this is what they're doing to men. We're not going to allow you to grow as a man in your own home. We're going to allow you to grow under these conditions set up by these entities without a father. And so that way you have to eat from the sources that the entities provide. It's systematic. It's the same thing in many different ways and many different aspects. And we have to put our kids and put our young men in an environment to where we can grow crops in the backyard and not have to eat the poison that's out there that they're forcing us to eat by not allowing people in certain areas to grow crops in their backyard. I'm trying to relate it to the growth of a man. And a man has to be whole grown, culture grown, ancestrally grown, if that's the word. But if he's not, all he's going to do is eat from the world, eat from the entities, and not learn how to be a man.
I like it. That's facts.
Yeah.
That's facts. So I just want to sum it all up this way. A real man is a dangerous man. A real man is a dangerous man that can control himself, can control his emotions, can compartmentalize, right? And has discipline. Any other men, and I also want to reiterate that only a man can validate another man. Men should not be seeking validation in women. I get what Mama Sarah is saying, though. There is, of course, men, we want women's attention, just like women want men's attention. And we understand that there's a dance, there's an art to this, There's an ebb and a flow with this. But for the most part, men, you should be seeking validation from other men, other thorough men, not your peers. Not your peers in high school, the little immature little things they do. I'm talking about father figures, real, thorough men in their late 30s, early 40s, men in their 60s, grandparents, men who have been tried and proved, men who are between the age of 35 and 44 years old. I mean, it goes higher than that, but I'm saying these men have learned, they've hit their financial stride. They've been proven, they've been tested by the world, right? They have something to show for. These men can tell you if you're on the right path or the wrong path to being a man. Just know that. So, man, we had some great discussions.
Brother, righteous.
Yes. We had some great discussions, man. We talked about why women make bad decisions. We talked about the weak and effeminate men that these women are raising. They're also being the same what they're choosing. And then we also talked about what is a real man. I want you guys to make sure you apply pressure to that subscribe button. Like the video, share this video, and understand, stay tuned. We got more great videos coming forth. Here's my promise to you guys, man. You guys watch the video, you guys subscribe, you guys like the video. We're going to get better. We are homegrown. Does that make sense? We're homegrown. You guys are raising us, right? We're teaching you but you guys are pouring also into us by watching our videos. We really appreciate it. We appreciate any support that you guys want to give. You guys know you can send a super chat, super thanks. I think we have our Cash App sometime up here. But most of all, we just want you to like our video, leave us a comment, let us know what we're getting right, let us know what we're getting wrong. This is the Too Much Moxie podcast. I am your humble host, Too Much. Y'all heard from Walt D, Mama Sarah, and guess what, yo? We are out. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Yeah, I feel like